One way in which our film has challenged forms and conventions of real media products is through the use of a female protagonist. For years, men have been the subject behind a psychological thriller. For example, Leonardo DiCaprio in Shutter Island, Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs, and Al Pacino in 88 Minutes. These male protagonists have been praised by critics to convey how psychological events can cause damage to men. This is why we wanted to create a female protagonist, because there aren't many presented to us today in media. However, the ones that are morbidly psychological crazy. For example, Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl. And from this character, I can say that we have developed, because most psychological thrillers are rated 18 plus. Therefore, if a teen or young adult watches our own media product, then they may feel that they can relate more to this character compared to a mature person. We wanted our media product to show that a young person can go through psychological events also. Another convention of our genre that develops is the use of mirror through mise-en-scène and props. Mirrors are used in the psychological thrillers to portray the characters. We also had a sense of reality. We used common locations such as bedrooms and bus stops. This was inner self and inner dark side. This was evident in the opening scene. The mirror read "Bitches will die." This was done in red, which carries connotations such as death and danger, which is what is happening in the character's internal thoughts. Camera movement in our short film. This also develops conventions of our genre, because in Katie's scene when she was drowning, this was done to build up tension and to build up panic in the scenes, which are then passed on to the audience, mirroring the emotions of the actors. Fast editing is used in the unrevealing of the masked character to build up tension in the anticlimax. Techniques is typically used in a thriller films, was in the unrewinded flashbacks. This gives an insight to the character's thoughts and history. In our short film, we used it to show that the build-up of events were not real and was all in the protagonist's mind. We also got the inspiration from the short film called Guilt, where they were having flash images of the scenes being revealed to the audience.
The inner darkness within the character. The sound in which we used is very eerie and tense. They use this to build up tension in a scene or create shock within an audience. Flashbacks are a typical convention of psychological thriller because it gave the audience a sense of confusion, as if the events actually happened in real life or if it was all in her head. Shadows and low-key lighting was used in the scene when the protagonist was coming down the stairs. These things are typical conventions of a psychological thriller. They are used to add tension into the scene, and in some cases are used to represent. Psychological thrillers frequently focus on a character's mindset by regularly having a first-person narrative, allowing the audience further insight into the mind of their protagonist. The idea of what is real and what is not real was commonly used in psychological thrillers such as Black Swan. This inspired us because it allows the audience to pay close attention. However, in some films, many viewers are left confused rather than gratified, such as Inception. You could say that our film challenged our convention because in some cases it left the audience confused, but also gave them a sense of relief.
Well, we got the inspiration of the time-lapse from the short film Trapped. This was used to show a quick change in the abusive relationship that the boy was in. This grabbed the audience, giving us chills because we knew the boy's life and circumstances in 1 minute. This inspired us to use a time-lapse because we liked the way there was a quick change in time. Now transitioning to the next scene becomes smoother.